We're less than a week away from the NFL preseason, so why don't we take a look at how all 32 NFL teams stack up in our final power rankings before the action gets going. If you disagree with my rankings, remember you can always let all the anger out in the comments. Anyways, number 32, Arizona Cardinals. We're at this point in the offseason where everyone agrees on who the worst team is. The Cardinals are in a hell of a situation, and they didn't really improve compared to last year. A bad season is coming their way, but also is Caleb Williams. And you know, at the end of the day, having a bad season is worth it if you get a superstar QB. Number 31, Los Angeles Rams. They are not good. Number 30, Indianapolis Colts. They didn't make any splash moves in the offseason other than drafting Anthony Richardson, who I, by the way, think won't be a starter until a couple of weeks have gone by. Regardless of the quarterback situation, this team is still far from a playoff contender. Number 29 are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Losing Tom Brady is reason enough for this team to plummet down the rankings. Not only that, but they didn't really make any improvements in free agency, so I'm sticking to the prediction they finished last in the South. At number 28, I have the Tennessee Titans. They were actually lower on this list, but then they got DeAndre Hopkins, who will definitely be helpful. However, the quarterback situation is still bad, and I just don't see this team being competitive in this upcoming season. Number 27, Houston Texans. Getting Stroud and Anderson in the draft was huge, as I feel like they now have a central player in both sides of the ball. They may not get near the playoffs in 2023, but the Texans definitely have something going. Number 20 for the division next season. However, since we haven't seen anything from Bryce Young, I don't want to rank this team too high, even though there's potential. Number 25, Chicago Bears. Trading back from number 1 was 100% the right move for Chicago. They massively improved this offseason, so I think they'll be much better than what they were last season. Still, that doesn't mean they'll fight for the division right away, especially considering how the rest of the teams in there are looking. Number 24, Cleveland Browns. They are always the most overrated team in the NFL, so I don't want to do that. Honestly, they are easily the worst team in the AFC North, and even though I think Deshaun Watson will improve compared to last season, he won't lead this team anywhere near the playoffs next season. Number 23, Las Vegas Raiders. Out goes Derek Carr, in goes Jimmy Garoppolo. I think they are similar in skill level, so I don't think this team is worse than last year's. However, outside of Jacobs, Crosby and Adams, this team doesn't seem to have the potential to fight for a playoff spot. Number 22, Green Bay Packers. Of course they are going down the rankings now that Aaron Rodgers is gone. Jordan Love has shown some signs of promise, but it's still too early to tell if he'll be a good quarterback. Regardless, the rest of the team is solid. Number 21, Washington Commanders. They are just pretty average. They have some good players, but I just can't find a true game changer in this team. There's potential, but there's no shot they fight for the AFC East in 2023. Now number 20, New England Patriots. Honestly, they aren't a bad team, as there are some talented players on the roster. However, they are undoubtedly the worst team in the division, so it's really hard for me to imagine them winning more than 9 games next season. Number 19, New Orleans Saints. Alvin Kamara may not play this season, so that's a huge blow to the offense. This team is solid still, and I can totally see them fighting for the first place of their division. However, it may be a tough battle. Up next at 18 are the Denver Broncos. I'm counting on Russell Wilson finding some sort of rhythm after a disastrous year last season. Also, this is an improved team with a new head coach who used to be amazing. So let's see if that turns out as good as everyone expects. Number 17, Atlanta Falcons. They are in prime position to have the best rushing attack in the league. The defense is improved, and suddenly this is a playoff team. I actually have them fighting for the NFC South crown without an issue. Number 16, Minnesota Vikings. I know they won 13 games last season, but history suggests they won't get as lucky in one-score games next year. I for sure think they are capable of winning their division, but we'll see if they manage to stay clutch this season. Number 15, New York Giants. They were the surprise team last season, getting a playoff win out of nowhere. I expect them to have a good season in 2023, even though it's hard for me to believe they'll have the same success as they did last year. Number 14, Seattle Seahawks. They got into the playoffs last season, and I expect nothing less from them in 2023. This is a good team with a good future. I just don't rank them any higher up because I don't think they have the weapons for a deep playoff run. Number 13, Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenny Pickett is in prime position to have a breakout year, which means this offense is set to be a good one. The defense is already top tier, and as long as the Steelers don't screw things up, they can easily win 11-12 games. Number 12, New York Jets. Trading for Aaron Rodgers was a gutsy but amazing move. However, the rest of the offseason wasn't that great for the Jets, starting with the draft. They have the talent to get into the playoffs, but they aren't as good as some people think they are. Number ever. So I cannot rank them any higher up until they prove they can stay healthy or play good without their top players, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Number 10, Detroit Lions. As expected, they got near the playoffs last season as one of the most improved teams in the NFL. Detroit Detroit has the potential to win the NFC North, and I'm honestly counting on it, since this offense seems unstoppable. Number 9. Los Angeles Chargers. Having a top 5 quarterback grants you a spot in the top 10, so here they are. The Chargers have one of the best rosters in the league, and now the only thing they're lacking is execution. Let's see if 2023 is finally their year. I sure hope it is, because that Justin Herbert contract will definitely be painful in a couple of years. Number 8. Jacksonville Jaguars. A playoff victory in the books, and up are the Jaguars. The potential this team has is insane, but I don't want to making the top 10 quarterback with ease. The explosiveness of this offense is unmatched, and pairing that with a solid defense gives you a pretty strong team capable of making a deep playoff run. Number 5. Buffalo Bills. They did suffer a bit in the offseason, but I'm confident they'll make it work in 2023. The defense is still elite, and so is Josh Allen. I expect them to win their division, even though there may be some tougher competition this year. Number 4. San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy is expected to come back under center way sooner than everyone thought, so this team is still the same that got to the championship game last season. You can never count them out, and they'll 100% fight to get the Super Bowl next season. Number 3. Cincinnati Bengals. They did lose some players, but let's be real, they have the clutch gene. But still, it may be a tough ride, because we all know the AFC North is one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. Number 2. Philadelphia Eagles. They lost a lot of good players in free agency, but somehow they managed to have a great draft and still keep a somewhat super team as they already had. There's not a lot of competition in the NFC, so expect the Eagles to be once again a powerhouse in the conference. And finally at number 1 are the Kansas City Chiefs. As long as they remain undefeated in 2023, I'm not getting them down to number 2. The Super Bowl champions got that Lombardi for a reason, and they didn't really regress. Will they make a run back? We shall see about that. But in the meantime, you can continue watching some of my other videos. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I guess I'll see you later.